Reserve Bank of India.
Very good. I'm very happy to see our alumni taking up positions for policy making positions in the policy making institutions. People like you, and
Thank you.
more specifically, I am more happy to listen to you because I now working in another department called Banking Technology Department.
Oh, excellent.
We are in collaboration with IDRBT. We have started MBA in Banking Technology here. So
Excellent.
we are very happy to, myself and my colleagues are really waiting to listen to you because the horse's mouth, the Reserve Bank of India.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's an honor, sir. Very happy that Pondicherry University and particularly School of Management is touching such great heights. And I'm very happy to hear that we are doing a specialized MBA in banking technology in collaboration with a renowned institution like IDRBT. So kudos to all the faculty who were involved in this endeavor. And these type of niche courses are the need of the hour, so to say.
Yes,
and going forward, sir, if we have more courses on data analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, blockchain, virtual currencies, fintech, those type of things are today requiring lot of industry attention and industry demand. So I think on that lines also, if you are able to do, it will really help.
Good. Thank you. This is what exactly the academia is looking for as a feedback from the people who are in the workplace. People like you. Thank you for all your advice. And I think we have started making some attempt, but we are also in the learning process because there is nothing like readily available material, knowledge. So we have been compiling. Some of the teachers have started specializing, publishing papers, interacting with the students. And thank you for. We request. I personally request you maybe as the COVID comes to an end. Once
welcome to Professor Raya, sir.
Campus.
Yeah.
Professor Raya.
Hi, sir. How are you? Hey, Dr. Raya. Pleasure to see
Mr.
you, sir.
Rajan, you can start the YouTube live also. I think many of us have joined. Mr. Rajan.
Hello, madam. Yes, madam. Tell me, madam.
Yeah, YouTube live you can make.
Yes. Started, madam. Started.
Yes, sir.
Just now started.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Welcome, Professor Raya, sir. Sir, your mic is muted.
I highly appreciate this initiative under the guidance of Dr. Chandrasekhar Rao.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. For all of you have contributed so much for making this school so systematic and so visible. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all our former deans of the School of Management.
So nice of you. So nice of you. Thank you, Professor.
Sir, Director, sir.
नीचे देखते हैं ऊपर दिख रही नहीं है
Sir, in another few minutes, our director is joining, sir.
No problem.
Hello, Brisbane.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
It took me a few minutes to recognize you.
Nice to see you once again, Professor Raya.
My
pleasure to see you, sir.
It's my pleasure. I'm very happy that you are there. And,
thank you.
It took me a couple of minutes. I was about to ask who is this charming gentleman.
Thank you, sir.
I remember that you were there at the ashram. That's all. After that, I think we didn't have any occasion to interact.
Yes, sir, to interact. But it's a real honor for me, pleasure to see each and every one of you. Today in this forum, and I was telling Madam just before you joined that it would have been really great for me. Had I got a chance to be physically present in the campus, in the vibrant campus there. And it's my bad luck, as you say. But sir, I look forward to an opportunity to come to Pondicherry University at the earliest. So we are just waiting for the things to settle down, sir, on the COVID front. Immediately after that, we will travel and be there.
Certainly physically, but both we have two challenging persons in a way competing with each other. Dr. Charmati and Chandrasekhar. Of course, Dr. Charmati has an advantage, and Dr. Chandrasekhar is full of ideas.
Yes, very much.
Online orientation, perhaps Dr. Charmati may consider to have a little more, even in smaller group. Already there are 137, it looks like, and it's better that some of the people like me to move to YouTube, I guess. Can it hold all these people?
So we have 250 user links this time.
Achha, fine.
It can go up to 250, and remaining people can watch in YouTube live also.
Fantastic. Because on an average every day we are having 2 webinars like.
Oh my!
Today
Fantastic.
also we had already 2.
My God! My God!
Because we are associated with some organization whereby education related matters. So
yes, sir.
I think it's the first time, Dr. Charmati, that we are having a kind of a program on the Foundation Day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All these 34 years, we have been having informal cake cutting, something like that. This year, I made it very formal. And at Foundation Day Lecture also we initiated a new initiative.
Chandrasekhar garu.
Chappan Master.
Actually, 19th is the formal day on the plague. Happened on 18th of November.
Welcome, our director, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Sir, with your permission, can we start the program, sir?
Please start. And I am happy to see Professor Aya.
Namaskar, Professor. Very glad seeing you.
We have invited all the former professors also, sir.
Man, I'm very, very happy, ma'am. Very happy. It's an honor, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I think Dr. Malak is there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, may I start the...
By being a director.
Yeah, please proceed.
Yes, you are looking much younger, Professor.
Yes.
Good.
A very good afternoon to all. I welcome everyone to this DMS SOM Foundation Day Lecture. Let us start the program with University Anthem. Mr. Rasan, University Anthem, please. Sir, voice is not coming. Sound. Thank you. I'm very sorry about this because the sound is have some problem with the audio. So anyhow, we have seen the video of our university anthem. With this, let us start the program. the Most Honorable Director of Studies, Pondicherry University, Professor S. Balakrishnan, the Most Respected Dean, School of Management, Professor Chandrasekhar Rao sir, the Speaker of the Day, respected Regional Director, Reserve Bank of India, Patna, Mr. Davesh Patel, who gave immediate permission for this lecture, the most distinguished alumnus of DMS, Mr. Brijraj, General Manager, Reserve Bank of India, HODs of different departments, esteemed faculty colleagues, former professors of DMS and SOM, HODs of MBA programs of affiliated colleges, research scholars, my dear students, administrative support staff, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today is the most auspicious day for the Department of Management Studies and erstwhile School of Management, Pondicherry University, as it is celebrating its 35th Foundation Day. The School of Management was established as the first academic entity and as one of the flagship schools of Pondicherry University on November 19, 1986. And since then, it has grown tremendously. DMS has its tagline, developing managers as entrepreneurs, technocrats, CEOs, academicians, bankers, corporate leaders, CMDs, and many occupying coveted and high positions in academia and industry, both in India and abroad. Coming together is beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success, said Henry Ford. The DMS takes pride in having the legacy of School of Management, and it has established strong industry-focused teaching programs and cutting-edge research. The DMS has grown in leaps and bounds, having 250 plus MBA students, 86 plus research scholars, 120 plus PhDs awarded, 1,000 plus publications by eminent and highly qualified faculty members, more international MOUs, more foreign students, student exchanges to foreign partner universities, more recruiters, more research projects, more B School awards, and lot of achievements and laurels by students and faculty. DMS has always been providing leadership both in academic and administrative activities. For example, if you take DMS faculty led new MBA programs such as tourism, international business, banking technology in the initial stages and provided a solid foundation. Many senior DMS faculty have assumed deanship of School of Management and provided a visionary leadership. DMS has also pioneered in starting an industry-relevant MBA program on data analytics. Currently, many SOM DMS faculty occupies many administrative positions and extending their expertise for the university administration. Not finance, not strategy, not technology. It is teamwork that remains the ultimate competitive advantage, both because it is so powerful and so rare, said Patrick Lencioni. The alumni network of DMS is very powerful in terms of exchanging their expertise for curriculum, evaluation, internships, placements, consultancies with alma mater, and DMS is also outreaching its alumni to leverage on their strength and provide support to them in terms of continuous education like EDPs, MDPs, etc. Today is the D-Day for Department of Management Studies, and it will be recorded in the annals of DMS as we are commemorating the 35th Foundation Day, with last week having invited the 35th batch of MBA students, and today having a Foundation Day lecture on a very relevant topic, saying that the topic is on India, an emerging leader in digital payments. And it is going to be by not less than a central banker and our distinguished alumnus holding general manager position in RBI. The topic has relevance here that the India is emerging as global leader. Pondicherry University is emerging as a world-class university. School of Management is emerging as a center for potential eminence. And DMS is emerging as a top B school with a global positioning. And people from DMS are emerging as leaders. given the today's topic, digital payments, as we all know the importance of digital payments, and we also experienced the use of digital payment gateways during the COVID lockdown. Now, with the leadership in IT, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, Internet of Things, etc., it is quite sure that India is going to emerge as a leader in digital payment platform. And Mr. Brijraj, the speaker of the day, our distinguished alumnus, will share more insights on the topic. Now, to achieve the present status, our leader, Professor Gurmeet Singh, Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry University, has been providing the right guidance and support to take the department and school to a newer heights. Under his leadership, DMS signed so many MOUs for student and faculty exchanges, organized many international conferences, executive development programs, FDPs, workshops, and started a new program also. Professor Gurmeet Singh is a well-known administrator and academician with a vast research and teaching experience of more than 4 decades. And he is a world-renowned researcher in the field of corrosion science and smart materials and won many prestigious national and international awards. Professor is committed to take Pondicherry University to new heights, and we are very proud to follow our leader. He gave approval to hold this Foundation Day lecture with great interest, though he very much wants to join this program. Due to his preoccupation, he could not join, and he sent his wishes for the program. Now, coming to our Director Studies, Professor Balakrishnan is known for his innovative ideas, and he is leading the IQAC cell of our university. He is a well-known scientist and researcher in the field of earth science and an able administrator. His contributions in the development of student academic management system and research scholar management academic system has really helped every one of us to ensure academic continuity during the COVID crisis. Professor always sets very, very high standards for DMS and provides right guidance and support to achieve the same. On behalf of DMS and on my own behalf, I welcome our honorable directors. I welcome you, Professor. Next, I welcome our respected Dean, School of Management, Professor Chandrasekhar Rao, for his consistent and unconditional support and guidance for every new initiative that DMS takes, may it be EDP, FDP, or a new program, new course, everything. And he is also the chairman of Innovation Council, and he takes all out efforts to maintain the quality of education we provide at every department in School of Management, and at the same time encouraging all departments to follow all the contemporary practices. And today's DMS SOM Foundation lecture features one of our distinguished alumnus, Mr. Brijraj, who belongs to 95 to 97 batch, and presently holding a very, very high position in RBI, Central Bank of our country. I now welcome Mr. Brijraj for this foundation lecture, and I also thank him for readily agreeing to be with us for this program. And institutions are built by contributions of many individuals over a period of time, and I welcome all the former professors of this department to this Foundation Day lecture. I also welcome our Dean, Professor Chandrasekhar Rao, for this program. And I welcome all the HODs of School of Management, my esteemed colleagues, research scholars, MBA students, invitees, especially Mr. Davesh Patel, Regional Director of RBI Patna, who readily gave permission, deputed our alumnus to give this lecture, and all the alumni and everyone for this Foundation Day lecture. So with these few words, I now request our respected Dean, School of Management, to offer his felicitations. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charumati, the leader of our DMS, and today I am very happy to formally invite our director, Dr. Balakrishnan, who looks after the academic activities of the whole campus, and my former dean, Dr. Raya, and the Foundation Day lecture is going to be given by our rather I have to say, our own alumni who has rose up to the policy making body like Brijraj, and all my other colleagues, senior faculty members, and student friends. Foundation Day is an occasion for all of us to spend some time going back and looking at ourselves, what is that we have achieved over last 35 years. The story of School of Management and the story of DMS, if you really look at the wonderful service that it has given to this society, more specifically in producing the manpower required for the managerial cadres, is so much. And if I start listing out the number of people who have reached these higher positions like vice president and CEOs, I think we may have to publish a small booklet of the great achievers from these corridors of the School of Management and from the corridors of the DMS. This is all possible because my committed faculty and the systems are designed and developed by our former deans, and a type of autonomy given by the university administration for the School of Management. So this may be an occasion for me to thank all those who have contributed for the great contribution of the School of Management and DMS in the production of the manpower required for the industry. I am personally thankful for the present faculty and the faculty who just left, retired or superannuated, because in this department, as a dean, I look at commitment from the faculty. It is commitment, if I say, it is not just by teaching and doing research. Every teacher looks for, there is a type of accountability that they keep. In every program that they design, they look at what are the skills I am going to give and what are the outcomes. And ultimately, these outcomes are these skills, how are they suitable to the industry? What are the changes in the industry requirements? So every teacher thinks about it before floating a course, before handling a class. Every session is with a lot of accountability. This outcome-based teaching and learning process today is able to make the DMS visible and able to record year after year, 100% placement in good multinational companies. And that is the credibility. My colleagues, my teachers, my senior teachers, and my teachers who are superannuated, all have implemented, and they may be, many times they sacrifice their personal research for want of finding out placements, better placements, skill development, skill requirements for the students. So this is how the commitment of the teacher in an extended form like accountability. So every teacher in this school, in this department, I have seen, they find themselves, they enjoy themselves, they feel proud to say that I'm accountable for every lesson that I teach in the class. That is the one adding a lot of value for the program that DMS is offering, and that is how our the students who are trained and able to get into lots of managerial cadres. So I wish all my colleagues and all my seniors, all my senior deans who have made the DMS so visible in the B schools, among the B schools, through its research, through its programs, through its the placement record, and many more that what our HOD has been narrating about DEPs and outreach and many programs, competitions, management meets, participation in MMA, CIS, and sending students to abroad, one semester study abroad. This type of programs, not only DMS is more fun in our entire school. Thank you for the faculty, thank you for HOD, and thank you for my director and my former dean, Dr. Raka, who have made this all possible over last 30 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. And surely we will bring out a commemorative issue for this Foundation Day celebration, and along with the newsletter also, we have a plan to have it monthly newsletter. So we will release both in a short while, sir. And with this, I now take this opportunity to invite our Honorable Director Studies to inaugurate this Foundation Day lecture. As I already told you, he always keeps a high standard for our department, and that really motivates us there to raise up to the expectations of your scales, and surely we will live up to your expectations. I request good self to inaugurate this Foundation Day lecture, sir. Over to you, Professor.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Charmadi. Our respected Dean, Professor Chandrasekhar Rao, respected HOD, Professor B. Charmadi, my long friends, like I can see Professor Raya, Professor Anjaneya Swami, and also the distinguished alumni of the Department of Management Studies, Mr. Brijraj, who is a very senior position in the Reserve Bank of India, and also the other faculty members, students, and ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed I think I am very honored to be amongst you and to inaugurate this, the Foundation Day lecture and celebrations. In fact, Department of Management Studies is the seed, one of the seeds that is responsible for the growth of the entire university. Today, Pondicherry University stands, tall among the various central universities. That is because the DMS has and having and will have a important role to play in the years to come. So I have been also closely associated with some of the professors of DMS. That's actually when I entered the Pondicherry University in the 1997. I knew only two people, in Pondicherry University that time. I knew only before I joined, or just after joining. One of them is my own colleague, Professor Pandya. The other person was Professor Narayanan, who is no more. I think he is, all of you know him. So then that's how through Narayanan only I used to interact with I came to know about other faculty members of the Department of Management Studies. And so I have been also watching from a distance and now more closely as the Director of Studies also the various academic activities and the growth and other things of the DMS. In fact, under various Vice Chancellors, the management programs of our university had grown leaps and bounds. In fact, I was at the time I was happened to be the dean of the School of Physical Chemical Applied Sciences. At that time we know that we witnessed a massive expansion of management. So we started different verticals, the MBA for catering to different verticals like banking technology, insurance management, and also the international business management, which we are continuing with more such verticals. And today I am also happy to see that some of the programs that are launched just a year or two, this year have attracted good number of students. For example, we started MBA in logistics and supply chain management, which is I think is really a success because I see more students joining that program than any other program. And you'll be surprised that that is a self-financing mode. In self-financing mode, getting more than 50 students joining the program itself speaks volumes about our credibility of our management programs of our university. And it all the credit goes to the DMS because DMS provided the faculty for various management programs. Either it is Professor Anjaneya Swami who initiated the tourism management, like that, various other management streams. The DMS provided the seed, we can say, which has grown like a banyan tree now. We can say that, proudly say that, and we hope we will have more, growth in this sector, and the DMS will serve as one of the best schools for business schools in the entire country. See, another thing which the most of these people view IIMs as something big for business schools. In my view, the universities, the MBA experience of an MBA student in a university is far better than in an IIM. So, okay, in IIM you may have best of the experts, but you don't have a overall rounding because in IIM you don't have, for example, you don't have as many languages as we have. You don't have as many, like for example, psychology, philosophy, and any discipline which which are required, which maybe have a role to play in managing various organizations. Those are not there, in the management. Whereas the university, it is there already. It is there. You don't have to make any special effort. Just by interacting with, taking some few courses here and there, you get more better rounded up. So our MBA programs, I may be, it may not be a professional opinion, but as a director of studies, I can see that our MBA program has an edge over the MBA programs offered by even the top-notch business institutions. Okay, so that we should cash on, because we are in a milieu where many things are, we can give it to our MBA programs, which is not possible in a typical IIMs. So that we should cash on, and we should market it. We should sell it as a important aspect of our university. So these are the things that we should do, I think, in future. And let us see, we hope we will make our impact much more in the coming years to come. Okay, wishing you all the best, and also wishing our Bridge Raj a very successful career, and at the same time keeping your alma mater, in your memory, and helping others to also to achieve the same heights. Okay, so I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So please continue with the program.
Thank you, Professor, for the confidence you have on the department. Definitely, we will cash on the points what you have mentioned, and we will prove that we are the best in the management education. We will strive to continue march ahead with all these successes with your support and guidance, Professor. And I also take this opportunity to welcome our former Dean, Professor Anjaneya Swami, and also our Raya sir. Already I welcomed sir, and Dr. Lalita madam is also there. I welcome all the professors to this Foundation Day lecture. And now I have the privilege of introducing our distinguished alumnus, Sri Bridge Raj. And Sri Bridge Raj belongs to the 1999 batch of direct recruit officers of the Reserve Bank of India. He is a senior officer in the rank of general manager and has previously served as the banking ombudsman and ombudsman for digital transactions at the RBI Patna. Prior to joining the RBI, Bridge has also briefly served in SEBI, India's capital market regulator, and Bank of Baroda, a premier public sector bank. He has also served as general manager in charge of the Reserve Bank of India, Patna. Bridge is an electronics and communication engineer from the University of Engineering, Osmania University, Hyderabad, and a Master of Business Administration from the Department of Management Studies, Pondicherry Central University, and also from the top-ranked HALT International Business School, Boston, USA, class of 2007, which he pursued under the prestigious Golden Jubilee Scholarship awarded by the Reserve Bank of India. At HALT, he was a meritorious student and was awarded the Dean's Scholarship and Dean's Fellowship. Bridge has also completed with a distinction an executive certificate in leadership and strategic management from the prestigious Jack Welch Management Institute, USA, and on FinTech from the Judge Business School, University of Cambridge, UK, through a scholarship from the Commonwealth, UK, and also on financial development and financial inclusion from the IMF Institute. He is currently pursuing the Artificial Intelligence for Readers program from the McCombs School of Business, the University of Texas at Austin, USA. Bridge is a certified bank trainer and a certified bank compliance professional. He has also served on important committees and working groups in the Reserve Bank of India, such as member of Interdepartmental Group on Operational Risk Modeling in RBI and member of committee to analyze increasing instances of fraudulent digital transactions. Bridge is very passionate about digital payments, fintech, and financial inclusion. He has reviewed several books by renowned authors and also written articles and presented papers in journals, national and international conferences organized by RBI, Nepal Rashtra Bank, etc. He has also been honored by the RBI for rendering exceptional and exemplary service and is a recipient of several letters of appreciation from the top management of RBI for excellent service since joining the bank. Bridge has also served as the RBI's nominee director on the board of Uttar Bihar Gramin Bank. Sponsored bank is the Central Bank of India for that bank. And his spouse, Srimati Deepthi Brijraj, is also a general manager at the Reserve Bank of India. They are blessed with two daughters, Charvani and Anjori. Now I request Mr. Brijraj to deliver DMS SOM Foundation Day Lecture. Everyone is eagerly waiting, sir. Now over to you. Now the session is yours. Thank you.
First of all, very good afternoon to each and every one of you. And before I begin, as usual, there is a round of thanking everybody for the opportunity. So let me first begin in a formal way, and then I'll come to the presentation. So, respected Singh, Vice Chancellor, Pondicherry University, Professor K. Chandrasekhara Rao, Dean, School of Management, Pondicherry University, Professor B. Charumati, Professor and Head, Department of Management Studies, Professor Balakrishnan, Professor Raya, Professor Victor, Professor Uma Chandrasekharan, Professor Malabika Dev, Professor Lalita Ramakrishnan, and all the other respected members of faculty and professors and dear students. Today, I'm truly humbled to be in the presence of such distinguished faculty, such accomplished faculty. And before I begin, I must profusely thank Madam Charumati for kindly connecting with me and giving me an opportunity to be the speaker for this very prestigious event, which is the DMS SOM Foundation Day Lecture. I'm very thankful and honored that Pondicherry University has given this honor to me. I'd like to congratulate the Department of Management Studies, School of Management, Pondicherry University, as it celebrates its 35th Foundation Day today. And I studied for my MBA from the School of Management, Pondicherry University during 96 to 98. And it was a fantastic learning experience. And the 2 years which I spent at Pondicherry, in many ways, I feel it laid a very strong foundation for the success that I have experienced in my career so far. And the School of Management has come a long way. I'm very happy to note that this indeed come a long way and has achieved several important milestones in its journey so far and has earned several accolades during the last 35 years. So I'm delighted to know that today it's a vibrant, active, and a much sought after B school. And most importantly, it is keeping itself relevant with the times and offering industry relevant programs, and has become a much sought after B school in South India and also rest of the country. So and also internationally. So please accept my compliments for the great work which is happening at Pondicherry University and particularly the School of Management. Coming to today's topic, I have chosen the topic India, an emerging leader in digital payments, with much care and thought. I am, all of you would be glad to know, I'm the regional head for digital payments in the state of Bihar and Jharkhand. And as somebody who has been very closely following the developments in the payment and settlement space in the country and across the world, I can proudly say that India truly, in many ways, is an emerging leader in digital payments. And from my presentation, that will become quite well understood also. So if you kindly permit, I will start the presentation now.
Share the screen.
Yeah. How to share?
Present now, you user, then select the entire screen and then you can open the PPT.
Desktop. Oh, desktop. Yes, isn't it? क्या है
Yes, now it's coming up. Yeah.
Presenting what?
Now you open the PPT, sir, then
Yes,
automatically.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Is it clear, ma'am? Can you see, ma'am?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah. Can you see the screen, ma'am?
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. So, as usual, there is a disclaimer that this views expressed are personal, which happens with any this thing. So, let please. Payment and settlement systems form the backbone of any economy. Am I audible, ma'am?
You are audible.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Yeah. So, it's very important for any country to have a well-defined payment and settlement system, because just like infrastructure is required for roads, highways, for travel and transport, likewise, payment and settlement system forms the backbone or the financial infrastructure for any country. And Reserve Bank of India has been playing a very important role, not only as the country's financial sector regulator, but also the regulator for the payment and settlement system in the country. A major thrust was given to large value payments by the launch of RTGS, which is called real-time gross settlement, in March 2004, and this has substantially reduced the time taken for payments. Reserve Bank of India also introduced what is called as NEFT, National Electronic Fund Transfer, and ECS, debit and credit, to support retail payments. Today, NEFT is something which has become very common and is quite widely used. With everybody, desiring that payment and settlement be made available on a 24/7 basis, Reserve Bank of India has made NEFT available from last year, from 16th December last year, available on 24/7 basis. And after that, we've noticed that the volumes in NEFT in particular have risen significantly. So after the launch, we keep seeing how it is working, and we see that it's operating smoothly. And thereafter, this year, on a few months ago, last month rather, on October 9, our governor announced that even RTGS, real-time gross settlement, would now be available round the clock from December 2020. And you'll all be happy to know that both NEFT and RTGS, once they are live 24/7 by 365, India will be among the very few countries globally to have 24/7 by 365 availability among large value real-time payment system. So this is a very big achievement, a big feather in the cap of our country. Retail payments, as we know, have been growing exponentially. We are today, gone are those days when we used to stand in a queue and fill a form for for depositing cash, or for making a demand draft, or for transferring money and so on. Today, the bank has indeed come to our home, bank has come to our office, bank is with us in our mobile phone, the bank is in our pocket. And so therefore, retail payments have indeed grown exponentially. Their acceptance has become more widespread. And an important step in this regard was the setting up of the NPCI, which is the National Payments Corporation of India, in 2009. That in many ways is seen as a masterstroke by Reserve Bank of India. And once NPCI was set up in 2009, and if somebody sees the journey of NPCI in the last 10-11 years, it's very evident that from then till now, India has achieved several milestones in the area of retail payments. Several products have been launched by NPCI, such as IMPS, that is Immediate Payment System, UPI, that is Unified Payments Interface, and so on, which I'm going to cover a little bit later in the presentation. Today, thanks to the efforts and the good work done by NPCI, we have several retail payment products such as the IMPS, which are available 24/7, and we can access our bank accounts for making fund transfers, for making bill payments, for making college payments, scholarship payments, anything, for making any type of payment, not only at the individual level, but also at the retail level, also at the retail level and also at the corporate or at the official level. So today, fund transfer has become much easy. And as you can see from the last bullet point, 590 banks today are live on IMPS. That is a testimony to the success of the IMPS. The powers which RBI derives for doing all this is from what is called as the Payment and Settlement Systems Act, which is called PSS Act in 2007. And in many ways, this landmark act, which was promulgated in 2007, that laid the foundation of a very strong and robust payment and settlement system infrastructure and payment and settlement system availability in the country. And as a result, today, India can proudly say that our payment and settlement system is one of the best in the world. And Reserve Bank of India has been working in this direction in providing the best in class payment and settlement service by what is called as RBI vision document. So Reserve Bank from 2002 onwards has been putting in place a vision document, and every few years we come up with this document. So in that we outline what is the roadmap, what is the way forward for the payment and settlement system in India. Luckily, all these documents are available in public domain. So if somebody wants to have a look at the journey of payment and settlement system, they just have to type RBI vision document on payment and settlement system, and you can get the guide, the payment and settlement system document for the last few years. So this has really helped the Reserve Bank of India and also helped the industry participants prepare themselves for what's coming next in the payments and settlement system space. So the vision of RBI here is to provide every Indian with access to a bouquet of e-payment options, and our pursuit is towards a less cash society and a less card society. So we want the transactions to happen digitally. We want them to happen through mobile phones. We want them to happen through laptop, PCs, etc., so that there is less use of cash and also there is a less card usage in the country. Today, as we know, a lot of things are getting digitized. So there's a macro trend in India where everything's getting digitized, and financial services and digital payments are one of the first areas. These are called low-hanging fruits. So these are some of the first areas to get digitized. And a country like India, which has traditionally been a cash-driven economy because of the ease of using cash, has today, shifted. I would say, has accepted and adopted digital payments. And you'll all be very happy to know that almost 30% of the transactions which are happening in India today, payments are happening through the digital mode, and 70% is still in cash. So still we are largely a cash-driven economy, but the percentage of transactions in cash are gradually coming down. So demonetization, which happened in late 2016, and the events thereafter have given a big thrust to digital payments. 2017, in many ways, could be termed as the year of digital payments, because that year, digital payments, whether it is debit card, credit card, internet banking, UPI, mobile wallet, you name it, every possible digital channel saw a surge in 2017. And you'll all be happy to know that 2018, 19, 20, that surge which we saw in 17, that has thankfully been sustained. Today, as we are all grappling with the COVID-19 pandemic, we are all at one side quite scared of it, have gone through difficult times, but a positive side, or you can say an unintended consequence of this, but a positive one, is that it has given a major thrust to digital transactions. And therefore, if one were to really see the growth from last year November till today November, we can again see a big spike in the use of digital modes. and particularly digital transactions have increased sharply in the last 1 year. So obviously, there is a long laundry list of digital payment options, but the 7 or 8 which immediately come to my mind is internet banking, mobile apps, debit card, credit card, UPI, mobile wallets, Aadhaar-enabled payment system, Bharat Bill payment system, and so on. And there are some more which are not mentioned here, but these are some of the modes which all of us are using quite regularly. So digital payments have found a strong ground in India and have found very good acceptability. And as I mentioned, in recent months, they have touched record volumes. Just to give an example, UPI, which is the mobile-based 24/7 by 365 basis available app, 2.07 billion transactions. A billion is a big word. Billion transactions were processed last month in October. And value is 3,86,106 crore, vis-a-vis 1.414 billion last year and 191. So one can see that almost twice the amount of transactions, so close to 100%, 95% increase in transactions, and both in value and volume terms. So today we are having banks, fintech companies, and other payment service providers who have also joined the digital payment bandwagon. And earlier, being mobile first, digital first was only a catch line, but today it has become a way of life. Today it's become a reality, and today its acceptance, as I said earlier, has increased manifold. So the long and interesting history behind the evolution of digital payments, which has been steered by RBI, piloted by RBI, has been succinctly captured in several documents, and I've also provided the link to one of the documents called Payment Systems in India. Now, coming to the global outreach of payment systems and where India stands, and why the connect with the topic, which is India emerging as a leader. So today, India is home to very innovative digital payment products, which are available at a low cost, and they're available anytime, anywhere. So they're not only low cost, which means you have the acceptance is there. At the same time, they are seamless, easy to operate, and available 24/7. And so on. So as a result, looking at our success, many countries have expressed interest in participating and partnering with India, and also replicating the products of India in their country based on their specific requirements. And particularly relating to check truncation system, NEFT, UPI, messaging solutions, etc., a few countries have already approached Reserve Bank of India, and you'll be happy to know that we are sharing with them how we have gone about this product launch, etc., how we have designed all these products, and we are helping other countries also launch similar products in their jurisdiction. Today, there is great scope for enhancing the global outreach of our payment systems. So our thinking process is that if they have succeeded in India, then the lessons of our success should be shared with the other countries, and we'd be more than happy if the citizens of other countries also benefit from these payment products and so on. So we are actively participating, cooperating with other countries, both through international and regional fora, and we are helping them develop these products for their respective countries also. And as a result of all this, leadership role is now being envisaged for Reserve Bank of India and also for India as a country in payment and settlement systems. So what has made India an emerging leader? What exactly happened? So the initiative which we have taken for Digital India by Government of India, that have been a major step, a major reason for success. And just today, you'll be very happy to know that our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, inaugurated the Bengaluru Tech Summit today. And there he mentioned that Digital India campaign, which was launched 5 years ago, has been a massive success. And today, thanks to the efforts made by the government under its Digital India campaign, today the country is reaping the benefits of the digitalization push in multiple quarters and in multiple ways. So we must thank the Digital India initiative taken by Government of India as as one of the reasons where we are for making India an emerging leader in digital payments. Reserve Bank has also taken a lot of initiatives. Other sectoral regulators like SEBI, PFRDA, IRDA have also taken a lot of initiatives. Huge push by government for direct benefit transfer. Then efforts made by banks. Ultimately, it is the banks, fintech companies, NBFCs, etc., who are required to implement. They have done a fantastic job. They've done a phenomenal job in implementing all these initiatives of RBI and Government of India. And the youth of our country today, 50% of our youth in India are below the age of 25. So our youth. So when we say 50%, it's a big number, and the largest youth population is based in India. So they have readily accepted, digital payments and are active users of digital payments. We also have 75 crore internet connections, which have grown in a big way. Rural India, most of India we know lives in villages, as said by Mahatma Gandhi, our father of nation. And despite being in rural India and semi-urban India, 1/3 of internet connections today, you'll all be happy to know, are in rural India. And people in rural India are connecting to the internet through their mobile phones, and they have also started getting the benefit of digital payment modes. So there's a seamless use of digital payment modes in urban India and also in rural India. The successful rollout of UPI has been another reason why India is emerging as a leader in digital payments. And a clutch of application programming interface, APIs as they are called, is helping us make use of Aadhaar, our digital identity, national identity. And that API clutch is called India Stack, which has really helped to our country to forge ahead in digitizing many services. So today, India is among the few countries, very few countries in the world, which have also ensured data localization. You'll be happy to know that all big companies such as Google, Yahoo, Facebook, all of them who are providing, Amazon, who are all providing services relating to digital payments, are all having data pertaining to transactions done in India itself. So from a data privacy point of view, that's a big positive. To ensure that consumer protection is also taken care of, Reserve Bank of India introduced the Ombudsman scheme for digital transactions in 2019 January. And today, India is one of the few countries in the world to have a separate ombudsman for digital transactions. So the future of payment is UPI. The future of payment is mobile-based. The future of payment is instant. The future of payment is 24/7/365. The UPI fulfills all this criteria. So the launch of UPI has been a game changer in India, and that really set the tone for India emerging as a leader in digital payments. It was launched in 2016 by NPCI, and it is helping facilitate interbank instant fund transfer through smartphones. So this has been a real game changer, as I said earlier, and UPI has revolutionized the mobile phone payment based in India. So when we started the UPI journey in August 2016, we only had 21 banks. In just 4 years, 168 banks are there today on UPI. Today, thanks to entities like Paytm, PhonePe, Google Pay, etc., they have joined UPI in a big way, and they have really boosted the transaction volumes. As a result, for the common man, digital payments are saving time, increasing productivity of the individuals and our economy. So other countries are keenly following India's journey in digital payments. They are not only looking to learn India's success story, but they're also looking to replicate the journey. And as I said earlier, other governments and central banks have already reached out to Reserve Bank of India and Government of India, and we are cooperating and helping in a very big way in implementing these payment systems in their respective countries. Now, in August 2020, 3-4 months ago, the NPCI launched an international subsidiary called NPCI International Payments, or NIPL, to export the indigenously, locally developed in India, made in India, or made in India, as you can say, digital payment offerings. And the primary aim of NIPL is to take these products like RuPay, UPI, etc., global, so that other countries can also enjoy the benefits of our success, and also cut down the lead time in implementing these payment products in their respective countries. Last year, December 2019, BIS, which is called Bank for International Settlements, which is the central bank of all central banks, released a paper called The Design of Digital Financial Infrastructure, Lessons from India. So I've also given the link to the paper here. And in the paper, BIS has hailed India's digital financial infrastructure and said that UPI is being internationally watched. They have also given other examples of the payment products in India which have succeeded in a big way. According to this paper, digital finance and digital payments have the potential to transform countries like India, and they've also mentioned that the developments and the growth of digital payments in India offers a unique case study for other countries to learn and imbibe from the way India has successfully implemented digital payments. The paper talks about Aadhaar. The paper talks about other real-time system platforms which have had a transformative impact on not only retail payments for the common man, but also for the micro and small-scale industry. So this paper is a very good paper, and it has really brought about the good work. It has showcased the good work which India and Reserve Bank of India has done in the area of digital payments. We all know Google. That's our default search engine for most of us. So last year, Google wrote to the US Fed Reserve saying that that countries like US must learn from what countries like India have done. And they have given example of products like UPI and other payment systems in India. And they have mentioned that thanks to the way in which it has been planned and designed, these payment and settlement systems have been a big success. So they have written to Fed Reserve, the central bank of US, telling them that they can look at India as a role model, India as a case study for looking at improving the payment and settlement systems in US. So in addition to talking about UPI, they've also talked about the overall approach in India in relating to payment and settlement systems, which Google has mentioned has brought about amazing results for banks, consumers, and other players within the payment ecosystem and India's central bank. They've also added that thanks to the ease of use and convenience, the adoption of the system UPI was quite rapid in India, and they have given some growth figures relevant at that point of time. You'll all be happy to know that the figures which I mentioned earlier of October 2020 are far more better than what were the figures mentioned even last year. So in just 3 years, UPI, in just 3-4 years, UPI has been a big success, and the transaction volumes and values, both of them have increased. Not just UPI, but the other payment products such as debit cards, credit cards, internet banking, all of them have nearly increased in a very, very big way. Really, telling us or giving us or indicating that the acceptance of these payment channels has been quite wide, and it has helped people undertake their financial transactions in a smooth and easy manner. So Google has appreciated the good work done by India and done by Reserve Bank of India in a very big way in their letter to the US Fed Reserve, and had said that there are a lot of lessons which a country like US can learn from India. So what US has mentioned is, Google has mentioned that the future is online payments. The future of online payment is mobile first. For many people, their first computer is their mobile phone. And we are seeing an increasing reliance on mobile phones in India by millennials and successive generations. And ultimately, the payment systems should fully enable banking through mobile devices. So this is a recommendation given by Google, and you'll be happy to know that Federal Reserve has now taken up this project, and they are implementing a project called Fed Now, which is on the basis of the lessons from India's growth and success in the payment and settlement space. India is not keeping quiet. We are not resting on our laurels. We are moving ahead, and now India is engaging with fintechs in a big way. you must have heard of fintech. Fintech is nothing but a combination of finance and technology. So these are new age players who are working very closely and leveraging technology closely with banks and non-banks, and are leveraging technology to offer payment solutions and also financial services. But they're doing it through smartphones and they're doing it through mobile apps. So all these companies, they require to first test their products in a controlled environment. For this, Reserve Bank of India has set up what is called as a regulatory sandbox. And last year, November 4, 2019, Reserve Bank of India announced the first cohort means batch or group, under the regulatory sandbox with the theme of retail payments. Once again, this shows that how much Reserve Bank of India is spurring innovation, working to ensure that more and more innovative products come into the sphere of payments, particularly retail payments, because they are touching our individual lives. So we are not resting here and with our on our laurels, and it's important for us to also acknowledge that a lot more is needed to be done. As I mentioned, the topic of our presentation today is India an emerging leader. So we are emerging. We have not become the leader. So what more is needed to be done for India to actually become a full-fledged leader? First, we have 75 crore internet connections, but yet some of us will testify that internet connection, internet speed could be patchy and sometimes uneven. So this needs to be set right. Second, access to internet should become a human right. Today, internet has become as important as air, water, and and other things which are required for our for our sustenance and livelihood. Likewise, access to internet is also has to be made a human right in India. We must ensure every citizen gets to own a smartphone. We must ensure that rural India becomes a full part of the growth journey, and therefore every village should have facility to access tabs, on at least on a rental basis, and ensure 4G access across the country. We should be the first country to move to 5G in order to keep pace with technology and growing aspirations of India's youth, millennials, and the vast segment of our country. All online services and applications must be available in major Indian languages, because India is a multi-linguistic country. People speak different languages. So services and applications must be made available in all major Indian languages. Then data privacy is very, very important. So we must ensure that citizens have control over the use of their data, and consent must be taken from individuals before organizations and governments use this. Then public sector banks in particular must beef up the number of transactions hitting their servers is in millions and sometimes billions also, as you saw from the figures. Therefore, and post-COVID and post-demonetization, there's been a record surge in the number of online transactions. So it's very important that banks beef up their server capacity. In September, you'll be happy to know that RBI, government, and even the NPCI, we are all monitoring the failure rate of transaction very, very closely. And 9 out of 10 banks recorded failure rate of 3%, which means 3% of their transactions, digital payment transactions, actually failed. And 9 out of them were public sector banks. So this should not happen. And therefore, we are working very closely with the public sector banks and all banks, but public sector banks in particular, to ensure that the failure rates actually come down. So the back-end infrastructure in public sector banks needs to be upgraded to cope with the huge increase in digital transactions. Chat banking. Some of you must have read in the paper that a few days ago, the NPCI gave approval to WhatsApp, which is owned by Facebook, for launching what is called as WhatsApp Pay by NPCI. This is a significant development because today we all use WhatsApp, we use Telegram and other chat apps. But imagine sending money to each other, transferring money to each other, making bill payments, becoming as easy as sending a message on WhatsApp. So that is the service which WhatsApp Pay is giving. And in many ways, this is going to be a game changer for payment and settlement system. So therefore, WhatsApp Pay has also been introduced now, and very soon it will start scaling up its operations. So chat banking is going to become the way forward. Open banking, wherein banks, non-banking finance companies, technology companies, they all interact with each other through the use of APIs, which is called Application Programming Interface. Open banking is something which countries like Australia, countries like UK, and some other advanced countries have already introduced. So therefore, this is something which is being the experiment there is being looked at with the great interest, and so this is something which we can all look forward to. So artificial intelligence, blockchain, virtual currencies, so these type of new technologies are coming up in a big way. So the use cases for AI, blockchain, etc., more and more use cases are now coming up. AI, we know, is particularly good at repetitive routine tasks and thinking systematically and consistently. So therefore, it can be deployed at scale in banking, financial services, and digital payments. So artificial intelligence and machine learning and data analytics, they hold huge promise for taking banking and financial services and digital payments to the next level of growth in India and abroad. Obviously, when we have new technologies, we require an oversight body. So that is the need of the hour. And so an oversight body is now in the works, and Niti Aayog, which is part of Government of India, is also working on setting up an oversight body so that the artificial intelligence and other new technologies can be rolled out by keeping everybody's interest in mind. Fintechs, already a lot of talk and a lot of discussion has happened on fintechs, and going forward, we will see a lot of competition between banks and fintechs, which provide digital payments and financial services. We all know that fintechs do not carry any legacy issue, unlike public sector banks. So therefore, they are causing disruption in provision of financial services, in provision of payment and settlement services, and so on. So fintech disruptors are agile, they're focused, and they're adept at providing excellent customer service. So fintech companies are also doing a great work in the payment and settlement system area. As we know that when industry starts maturing, you will be requiring a self-regulatory organization. So therefore, RBI has come up with a framework for SROs for digital payments 2 months ago on October 22. Going forward, banks would also need to connect their technologies across the ecosystem. Today, we know that banks use a lot of technology. Today, without technology, banking cannot function. But at the same time, since banks are using different technologies and different processes, they need to create a seamless omni-channel experience, which is trusted by customers. That should not only be seamless, but also the customer should be able to get full benefit of the different technologies and the different offerings of different banks. There are things like chatbots. Some of you must have heard of it. So banks going forward would be using artificial intelligence to power chatbots and provide round-the-clock and agile customer service. Because today, customers' expectations are very high, and therefore, banks have to live up to the high customer expectation. That is only possible if they use technology in a very big way. So going forward, we will have new technologies such as robotic process automation and machine learning, which will replace the labor-intensive, manual, paper-based work, which is still happening in some banks and financial services, banking and financial services sector. And the services are operated by through robots, through AI, would be highly reliable, would be cost efficient, and would also be much more fast. So this is the promise of the new future. I've given some images here. These are all robot, you can say they're called chatbots, which are available on the website of different banks or on mobile apps. So the moment you log on to the website of Axis Bank or HDFC Bank or State Bank of India or ICICI Bank and some of the other leading banks, on the right side, you will see a pop-up and that says, hello, can I chat with you? How can I help you? And so on. So they are called chatbots and they're available 24/7. And today, with these chatbots, we can actually carry out a range of banking and financial service transactions. So going forward, use of chatbots and chat apps for digital payments and a suite of banking services is going to be very common. And So obviously, when you have new technologies, you'll have new players, and so companies like PhonePe, Google, WhatsApp, all of them are now coming in a big way in providing payment and settlement services, in providing digital payment services, and so on. And to ensure that one or two players don't become a monopoly, the NPCI has capped the maximum permissible market share of any third-party app at just 30%. On the UPI from 2021 on a 3-month rolling basis, so that just one or two players do not control the ecosystem. And this is another game changer move from NPCI, so that we have more and more entities participating in the provision of payment and settlement system, and we don't end up with a monopoly. If you see China, for example, today in China, if you just Google, there are only one or two payment service providers who have captured the entire digital payments in China, and one of them is owned by Jack Ma of Alibaba, which is so Alibaba's Ant Pay is providing one such service. So therefore, that type of situation we don't want in India, where we want just one or two entities who are capturing the entire digital payment space. So this move of NPCI to cap market share in digital payment at 30% will help mitigate monopoly and other system risks. So the future of financial services is a merger with technology. So today, financial services and technologies go hand in hand. And earlier, people in bank would think that we have to provide banking and technology is at the back end. Technology is only an enabler, is only a support, and so on. But that thinking has to change now. Today, technology has come to the forefront. Technology has become a partner for operating the bank. And without technology, the bank is nothing. The bank cannot go anywhere. So therefore, technology today is now helping drive business. So what will be the emphasis of RBI? The emphasis of RBI in future would be on innovation. It will be on financial inclusion. It will be on customer protection, and it will be on ensuring robust competition in this space. Coming next would be digital financial services, which means the entire bouquet of financial services and not just digital payment would be available through mobile apps. Why should somebody want to go to a bank for availing a loan? Why should somebody want to go to a bank for opening a bank account? So obviously that is the question, and to answer that, we have digital financial services where any financial services product or service can be available at the touch of a button on your mobile phone, right with you 24/7. Going forward, there are countries which are issued digital bank licenses like UK, then Hong Kong Monetary Authority, which have issued licenses for what is called as virtual banks. So these are banks which will only operate through an app. They will not have physical brick and mortar branches like we are all used to. The moment we say bank or branch, our mind thinks of a brick and mortar branch, but that is not the reality with virtual bank. So digital banks are going to be the next way forward, and this is something which other countries have also introduced. So everything will happen. You can avail all the services of a bank, but it will all be digital. So some countries have already experimented with this. So everybody in the banking financial services sector is watching this experiment in UK, Hong Kong, and other countries with great interest. Obviously, when you have digital payments taking off in such a big way, you also require what is called as dispute resolution mechanism. So with digital payments happening in millions and billions, obviously you'll require a robust, quick, efficient online dispute resolution mechanism. For this also, Reserve Bank of India has introduced a similar mechanism called ODR, which is online dispute resolution mechanism for digital payments. And all banks have been asked that from January 1, 2021, as a New Year gift from the Reserve Bank of India, as a New Year initiative, so to say, from Reserve Bank of India, all banks and payment system operators have been advised to have an online dispute resolution system from January 1, 2021. Okay, so this is a New Year initiative from the RBI for further giving a boost to digital payment services, and this will also help increase the confidence level of people in using digital payment services, because we want them to use it in a safe, efficient, and trustworthy manner. So if there is a problem when I do a digital transaction, I know that the dispute resolution mechanism, ODR mechanism, this will get resolved in a quick way. Reserve Bank of India a few months ago has also announced that it wants to ensure there is continued innovation in the digital payment space and also in the banking and financial services industry. So as you're aware, new technologies are emerging from time to time. So how best to make use of this new technology for benefiting the banking and financial services sector? For this, Reserve Bank of India has introduced the Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, RBIH, to promote innovation across the financial sector and leverage on technology. So the RBIH will help create an ecosystem that will focus on promoting access to financial services and products. It will help the industry, academic institutions, and the other players in the financial sector to collaborate and to work on exchange of ideas and prototypes. This is an excellent opportunity for universities like Pondicherry University to come forward and become a part of Reserve Bank of India's Innovation Hub. Further details are available on the RBI website, and if you require any assistance, I can help you, connect with the concerned officers who are looking after this initiative in Reserve Bank of India. As we know that when we want to push digital infrastructure, you require what is called as acceptance infrastructure, particularly point of sale infrastructure. Today, in a bank, when we open an account, we are all given a debit card, credit card, etc. But today, when we go for shopping, particularly in a retail outlet physically, or in a medical store or any other shop or utensil store or any other store, in most cases, now you are seeing that they're having also a point of sale machine, a POS terminal. But till few years back, they were not having a POS terminal. But it's also a fact that all merchants, even today, do not have a POS terminal. So we want, whether it is in a village, whether it is in a semi-urban place or in an urban location, we want all merchants to have what is called as a POS terminal, or at least a mobile POS terminal, so that people can use the debit or credit card, and people can use, and there is no need for them to carry much cash with them, and they can do the transaction through debit or credit card. So we want the point of sale infrastructure to go up in a big way, and the need is that during the 3-year period, 18 to 21, at least 6 times, our expectation is that the POS terminals, etc., need to improve. And to ensure this, Reserve Bank of India in June 2020 has also announced a payment infrastructure development fund to encourage deployment of point of sale infrastructure, particularly in the tier 3 to tier 6 center and northeast state, which are particularly in the rural and semi-urban parts of India. So going forward, RBI, government, banks are going to give a further fillip to payment systems, and therefore the payment acceptance infrastructure has to be scaled up in a very, very big way. So we have already made an initial contribution of 250 crore to this corpus, which is covering half the fund, and the remaining money will come from the card issuing banks and card network operating in India like Visa, MasterCard, RuPay card, etc. And this will take care of ensuring that there is much more upscaled acceptance infrastructure in the form of POS terminals and other payment modes. So,
sorry to interrupt. I request Professor Raya to mute the microphone. He is from 2 devices. Some sound is coming. Yeah, you may continue, sir.
Yeah. So, coming towards the end of the presentation, as I mentioned earlier, we are going international. Our solutions are going international. The successful digital payment products of India are now being taken global. So RuPay cards and UPI were launched in Singapore. Singapore, we all know, is quite a developed country, though it's a small country, but quite developed in many ways. So in Singapore, they were launched in June 2018. They were also launched in UAE in 2019. And the sheer convenience and benefits are encouraging more and more people to use digital payments. And going forward, a more robust grievance redressal mechanism would be critical for the success of digital payments in our country. So RBI has therefore embarked on digital financial literacy campaign called RBI Kehta Hai. Okay, RBI says, and we have put in place many mechanisms to ensure that the messages for safe usage of digital payments is spread across the country. All of you would be happy to know that the brand ambassador of RBI right now is Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, and there is a serial called Kaun Banega Crorepati, the quiz contest, and in almost every edition of Kaun Banega Crorepati, the well-known actor Mr. Amitabh Bachchan has been speaking about the safe usage of digital payment modes. So in between, sometimes, while asking questions, suddenly he will stop and say he has an important message to share. So that message is from Reserve Bank of India. So RBI has been using multiple modes. We are using print media, we are using internet, we are using SMS, we are using social media like Twitter, Facebook, and other media to ensure that the public at large is getting aware about the safe usage of digital payment mechanism. They don't fall into any criminal elements who look to misuse or trap people who are gullible. So going forward, there is a need to educate both retail customers, merchants, and micro and small enterprises so that digital payments can further proliferate. There is a huge scope still left for digital payments. In fact, in countries like Sweden, some of the other countries in Europe, there you'll be really surprised or happy to know that digital payments are 98%, 99% of the total listing. So cash is hardly used in some of these countries like Sweden, etc. So we are moving gradually towards that area. That time it will take a few years for us, but we are slowly and steadily moving in that direction. Government of India, RBI, banks, fintech companies, everybody is working hard to popularize digital payments. And as can be seen from the discussion we have had during this presentation, really great work, good work, phenomenal work has happened in India on the digital payment front. But yes, we are not resting on our laurels, and a lot of work is also in progress. And as we are already in 2020, today you'll all be happy to know that right now as we speak in Reserve Bank of India, we are already thinking of what next, what needs to be done the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and so on. And to give direction to this thinking and work in a focused manner, Reserve Bank of India last year had appointed Mr. Nandan Nilekani, who is the chairman and founder of Infosys Limited, as head of a committee. It has given a landmark report on the way forward for digital payments in India. The report of the Nandan Nilekani committee report is available in public domain. I will request anybody interested to please read. It's one of the best reports ever published, according to me. And it gives a very clear roadmap as to what India should do, RBI should do, government should do in order to further spread and popularize digital payments and really take it to the next level. It's a fantastic document, and some of the best experts in the country in the area of digital payments have worked on it. So it's a very good report. I request you all to please read it. And before to conclude, it is really important for India to get the work in progress completed as effectively as possible to become, in the real sense, a global leader in the digital payment space. So let's all join the digital payment movement and also encourage others to do so. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me. And I hope this presentation was useful and you all got something to learn from this presentation. And I hope you all got an opportunity to understand what's really happening in the country in the digital payment space. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brijraj. It was a wonderful piece. and the latest developments and what is the next phase of digital. And we have a lot of questions to ask. I don't know whether we have time to interact, and we take one or two questions if
yes,
you are okay with
yeah. Please, ma'am, it'll be an honor.
Yeah. Any student, any scholars, any faculty who wanted to ask. But I have one question before anybody could ask. Because when we use more and more digital payment platforms, it also comes with a pinch of salt, like cyber security risk. That is like online frauds or information theft or malware or virus attacks. So how the retail people who are using these kind of digital platforms should be taking precautions, or is there any provision available for them to get protected? Because we always take the required care to the extent possible, but what is the mechanism available?
Yeah, ma'am, first of all, thank you for the excellent question. You'd be happy to know, ma'am, in my profile, you had mentioned that I have served as the banking ombudsman and also as the ombudsman for digital transactions. So when I was serving there for 1.5 years almost, I used to get a lot of complaints from people, particularly who are doing digital transactions regarding a debit from their account, regarding transaction which they have not done, but debit has taken place and so on. So you'll be very happy to know, ma'am, that Reserve Bank of India has put in place a very robust framework to tackle these type of problems. And we have also put in place, empowered our banking ombudsman, and also we have a separate ombudsman for digital transactions. So we have given clear timelines to banks to act on such complaints, and each bank has been told very clearly that they are required to attend to such grievances expeditiously, and in case the person is not satisfied with the resolution provided by the bank, they can approach the ombudsman, and the ombudsman immediately looks into these complaints, ma'am. And we have very clear turnaround times, and we have enough penalty powers, enough powers at our command to ensure that people get back their money. In fact, thousands of people, as part of our as a role as an ombudsman, we have helped people get back their money, ma'am. And yes, there are people are gullible. Sometimes people share their passwords, people share their OTP and other things.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, education going forward is the main thing and main approach. So, therefore, we have asked all banks to embark on a massive education campaign to customers. RBI itself has been spending time, money, effort, energy, resource, and we are leaving no stone unturned to ensure that as many people as possible, the message goes about safe banking habits, safe transactions, and people should not share their password, should not share their one-time password, should not share their credentials about their account. So now, ma'am, you'll be happy to know that following all these efforts, they are now bearing fruit, and the number of such complaints where people have been tricked, people have been cheated, people have become victims to these type of frauds are now those type of things are now coming down, ma'am. Of course, there is always a cat and mouse game going on between the fraudsters and also the people, but by and large, people have now become a little bit more cautious, and at the end of the day, there is no free lunch. Nobody gives money for free. Nobody gives. So if people are also realizing that nobody will give $1 lakh, $2,000, $50,000 free of cost, there is always a catch behind such gimmicks and such this one. So education is the way forward, and as I mentioned in the talk, ma'am, we are using multiple modes. We are using even newspaper, we are using even television, we are using social media, we are using SMS, we are using every possible form. As I mentioned, we are also using the services of brand ambassador, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. And every bank, if you see, ma'am, they are also using the services of their own brand ambassadors. And even in each advertisement, of RBI, any bank's advertisement also you will see in the bottom, don't share your OTP, don't share your password and so on. So all these efforts are bearing fruit, ma'am. And from a cyber security point of view, you asked a very good question. Banks have been told by RBI that they must really step up their cyber security measures. They must make their systems and their products and services more robust, more secure, and from a cyber security point of view, they must undergo several audits and several tests and other this thing, ma'am. And we are keeping a very close watch on that aspect. And you'll be happy to know the number of cyber security attacks on banks and other financial entities have actually come down, are now coming down, ma'am. Why? Because the infrastructure has been improved significantly. A lot of firewalls, intrusion detection systems and other things have been put in place by banks.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Actually, as a researcher, I got a lot of insights into this digital payments, and I could not resist sharing that our own one more alumna is in customer education of Reserve Bank of India, Ms. Sujita. Sujita is also there in RBI, our own alumnus. So now we may take one more question, because amidst his busy schedule, he has devoted his precious time to be with us to share the developments in the digital payment arena. Now, one more question we can have, we can conclude this. Yes, sir.
My question will be rather kind of comment will be the last one. So kindly don't include this as a number of questions. So give opportunity to other students also.
Okay. Any question from the scholars, students, and faculty, please?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah, please. Introduce and
percent. And there are so many remote areas, villages where there is poor internet connectivity, poor infrastructure, as well as other people are there who lack the tech know-how. So how do tech organizations go about the implementation and execution in order to pull in these remote areas and the people who are ignorant about digital services into the large global digital village? So can you mention some necessary steps these organizations take to include them?
Yeah, so I must thank Madam Preeti Padma Parida for an excellent question. And I completely agree with you that that India is predominantly rural. And as I mentioned during the presentation also, no less than our father of nation had mentioned that India lives in its villages. And 70% of India is indeed rural, as you rightly said. And in many ways, rural India is actually playing catch up with urban India. And there is, as you rightly mentioned, relatively poor digital infrastructure. But at the same time, we must be cognizant of the fact that rural India also has similar aspirations to urban India. Rural India people in rural India would also like to have access to similar quality of services and products availed by urban India. And at the same time, you'd be happy to know that banks, Reserve Bank of India, and payment service companies like Paytm, Google Pay, and other companies, they are all now looking at rural India as the next big frontier to conquer, the next big market. So there is a commercial motive also in banks and payment service companies to go to rural India because of the sheer size of the market. Today, you will be very happy to know that if you talk to somebody in Flipkart or talk to somebody in Amazon, the number of PIN codes which they are covering in India, or almost every PIN code in the country is being covered. What does it mean? It means that people in rural India today are buying products from Amazon and Flipkart. And that is the same thing which you and me do in big cities. And you'll also be happy to know that when it comes to the payment mode, earlier cash on delivery was one of the modes because cash was predominant, but more and more people today are using the non-cash mode, which could be a wallet, which could be a net banking account, or it could be Amazon Pay or other this thing. So the non-cash modes are also happening, which means the acceptance of these new modes has now happened both in rural and semi-urban India. Over the last few years, companies which are in the mobile service space have worked in a big way in improving the connectivity in rural India. And today, when we travel, in fact, as part of our job, till recently, unfortunately, because of COVID, we are not traveling that much. But earlier, I used to travel quite a lot in rural Bihar and Jharkhand. And you would be very happy to know that though Bihar and Jharkhand are seen as relatively poor, relatively rural, relatively
the last 1 year. And if that were to be so, does it mean that our economic activity is really on an increase, because any payment is a reflection of a productive transaction? And of course, Dr. Chandrasekhar will have something to say on Reserve Bank of India Innovation Hub a little later, I guess.
Yeah. Sir, thank you as usual. Your questions are very probing and your observations are very profound, sir. I do agree that RBI, sir, till recently we were talking of less cash society, but now we have added less card. The reason for card, sir, less card is that we want all transactions going forward, or as many transactions as possible, to happen through mobile platform. The reason there is, the moment you say card, we have so many issues coming up. You require a POS machine for using the card. The card has to be kept safely. The card has a certain life. It has to be reissued after certain this thing. The card can be misused. A card can be skimmed. A card can be cloned, and so on, sir. So going forward, we would like to have not only a less cash, but also a less card society, so that people use more and more of digital payment modes, such as smartphones, mobile apps, and so on, so that the need for actually having a card and all the associated infrastructure therein is done away with. Coming to the second part of your query, sir, on increase in the volume and value of digital payment transaction. Yes, while in the last 1 year, there has been 100% increase, but just to assure everybody here, including Professor Raya, that this is not a one-off or a short time spurt. I've been following this the growth for the last few years now, sir, and you'll be happy to know that the growth in digital payments, particularly after demonetization, that was in 2016 end, November, December, in 17, 18, 19, the growth has been in high single digits, double digits, sorry, and it has been sustained. And yes, in some ways, we can say that there is a link correlation between digital payment increase and economic activity. So does point to, in some ways, a revival in economic activities. But as I mentioned, since 70% of transactions in India are still happening in cash, it may not be a complete or a foolproof indicator, but yes, in some ways, it could be seen as some indicator that economic activities are increasing. And you'll happy to know, sir, that as we are right now in November, in the month of October, September, etc., the consumption of fast-moving consumer good (FMCGs), then that has been quite good. Then two-wheeler sales and four-wheeler sales have also been quite robust. And by and large, several sectors have started reviving. One sector which is still not doing well is the real estate sector, the realty sector. That is still under down in the dumps. But other sectors have started increasing, sir. So, and digital payments, increase in digital payment volume is also a testimony in some ways to the fact that economic activity is once again gradually reviving, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. And
I am glad you made me. Swamiji is there. I see Uma Chandrasekharan ji, and perhaps others also with whom you had interacted. And thank you, Dr. Charmati. Above everything, it's a great pleasure, Brizraj. Children speak about the parents and the students. I don't think there is anything called erstwhile today
No, thank you.
for the schools. Thank you very much. And Chandrasekhar perhaps would have to say something to take
Thank you,
advantage
sir.
of your Reserve Bank of India innovation.
Yes, Professor.
Yes, thank you. It is a great lecture. The first years of MBA program who are just being inducted a few days back, and they are provided with the latest contemporary issues. It is a memorable for them, and many of us, of course, many of us also, the entire episode of Payment Corporation of India's exercise and the image that India has created in this payment gateways and all that is not very clearly known. Only thing is here and there we read it. This lecture has provided a very great insights. The whole exercise of Reserve Bank of India and the payment gateways and India's image with respect to use of technology in the. Thank you on behalf of the management. We profusely thank you. And last few words when you are talking about how the economy is picking up. This is a very positive note, sir. Most of us students and our management teachers, many of us, when we are putting our figures down, we are hearing the very positive note on the economic progress or economic picking up from the horse's mouth, from an officer from the Reserve Bank of India, unless you have a data support, unless you have seen operations on the back of it. That gives a great signal for the benefit of our students who are otherwise they are all having their own doubts on what is their future, especially when they are in the entering into the placement semester. The semester to come is a placement activity has to go on. Only when the economy picks up, these are all likely to have a very good placement track record. So thank you, sir, very much, and for joining this type of fund, giving very good lecture for the. I think we will make a printout of it. We have been recording the entire lecture, and
Yes.
we will make out a foundation lecture printout, and we will be circulating to all our students to have a copy of it and use them anytime they can prefer it, and then they can develop based upon that. So please join us as and when there is a possibility. I think it is a working day. You are breaking your time and joining us. Maybe sometimes we will pick up some lectures on the weekends that maybe our students and as well as you will also find convenient time. And the moment we end up this COVID, to invite you to a campus.
Thank you.
Of course, this is your campus, and you can have the nostalgia.
There's also
interact with the students. Thank you, sir.
thank you. Sir, there's one good news I wanted to share with all of you, sir, if you kindly permit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please. Please, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Very much open.
Yeah.
So in my profile, I have not mentioned one good news. There is a government of UK fellowship called Financial Services Fellowship. It is called British Chevening Financial Services Fellowship for 2020. And I'm very happy to mention that I have been selected by government of UK as part of this as a British Chevening Fellowship.
I have to say here something. It is always the convention in DMS that whoever comes to DMS for any event, they will get immediate elevation. And almost all the personalities who visited, though you are alumni of our department,
Yes.
You are also having a good news, and you will be shining more in the future,
Thank you,
near
ma'am.
future. And Sir, Dean Sir, actually our first year students have asked many questions. They are very active, and you will be happy to know that. And with these remarks, I request now Dr. B. Rajeshwari. She is the talk series coordinator. We have initiated, we rebranded the guest lecture into DMS talk series. She has been coordinating weekly alumni talk, expert talk, international talk. Now expert talk also has happened. So now we are having the formal vote of thanks. I request Dr. Rajeshwari to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. The most respected Director, Studies, respected Dean, respected HOD, respected former deans, senior professors, our distinguished alumnus, Mr. Brijraj, the speaker of the day, esteemed colleagues from DMS, School of Management and affiliated institutions, dear students and other supporting staff, good evening to one and all joined today with us. So it is a pleasure to propose the vote of thanks in this August forum today evening. First of all, I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, though he couldn't be joining with us today, but he conveyed his wishes for this program. So thank you very much, sir. Then I would like to thank our Dean, School of Management. As usual, he is always supportive to us. Today also, though he is in a faraway place, he joined promptly on time and just shared his views and just blessed us and wished us with all his whole heart. So thank you very much, sir. Then I'd like to thank our Director Studies joining us today evening and just sharing his views and blessing us and wishing us with all his good heart. Thank you very much for your good words, sir. Thank you very much. Then I would like to thank our former deans, Professor Raya, sir, Dr. Anjaneya Swami, sir, for joining us today amongst their busy schedule and sharing their views. Thank you very much, sir. And other colleagues, those who have joined, especially Professor Lalita Ramakrishnan for joining us and just interacting with the guest. Thank you very much, madam. Then I'd like to thank our guest, Mr. Brijraj, for joining us today. Thank you very much, first of all, for joining us today, sir. And we are very thankful for the kind of information you shared. From that is, we consider it as a very reliable source, which kind of information we may not get from any other source. Thank you very much for whatever you have shared with us, sir. And really, it is very admirable to know we are expanding our wings and we are growing. And from your mouth, we have happened to learn that we are growing and we are becoming a role model to other countries. It is really helpful to know all this information. And thank you very much for sharing the kind of safety mechanism RBI is actually bringing in and just making the people actually being confident about using this digital transactions. Thank you very much, sir. And especially a special thanks for sharing the links. As you mentioned about the links and the articles, definitely we'll just go through those links and the material, whatever you mentioned, so that which may helpful for us to improve our knowledge. So definitely the session what we attended today is helpfully widening our knowledge about the digital banking and transactions. Thank you very much, sir. And all our colleagues, whoever joined with us today evening, thank you very much for your joining and gracing this occasion with your presence. And the students who have joined and just asking questions and interacting with the guest speaker and making this session a very lively session. And thank you very much, the speaker, for your interesting and very informative answers, sir. As you have answered all the questions, it is really helpful for the students. So they may have this motivation to interact more with the guest, whoever actually have happened to just meet in the future. Thank you very much, sir. And last but not the least, the supporting staff who made all the arrangements effectively so that we are able to start the program on time and able to just make this program a lively one. Thank you very much, one and all. Once again, I thank one and all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hearty compliments, Brijraj. Let's stay in touch.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, Madam Rajeshwari ji. How are you? Lalita ji is there. I'm glad to see you all. Please remember me to everyone of the others also. Take care.
Good evening, sir.
Very,
How
very
are you,
good
sir?
evening to all of you. Yeah, everything is going on quite well.
Thank you very much, sir.
Very glad.
It's very nice to see you, sir.
Oh, Professor. Yes, very nice to see you here.
Yeah. How are you, Professor?
Great.
How are you?
DM in my house as always.
Yeah. I'm sitting at your room, Professor.
Yes.
So we are connected.
Always. Hello, Professor.
Sir, how are you, sir?
Nice to see you.
How is your family members? Everybody fine now, sir?
Huh?
How is your family members, sir?
Everybody is doing quite well, excepting that we are not coming out. Engagements are fairly good and comfortable. Today is the third interaction. Fourth interaction is late in the evening, actually. Glad.
Okay, sir. Nice, sir. Nice.
Sir,
Nice to
sir,
see your
excuse
words,
me.
sir. Nice to see your voice, sir. Thank you,
No,
sir.
it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Sir, excuse me. Sorry for the interruption. I forgot to mention about our head of the department for all her initiatives. I really want to appreciate our madam for bringing in this kind of new initiatives and just organizing many programs. So every week we are actually bringing in alumni as well as experts from industry, so that the students are getting more and more benefits from outside, whatever they are getting from the class, whatever they are getting as through the classroom teaching. So it is really helpful.
Madam, you can tell about Monday program also, madam.
Yes, sir. One more thing, we are actually organizing one more program on Monday, sir. Real international expert is going to address us on Monday. He is the Secretary General. Secretary General of this logistics and supply chain one association from UK. He is addressing our students coming Monday 3:30. Sir, if you are free all the time, we are actually expecting you to join us. If it is possible, please.
I'm very glad